Breathe in, breathe out. Wow, I haven't had a thought for a whole minute. Wait, this is a thought. Crap. Okay. Come on, inner peace. I feel calm. I feel peaceful. I feel a hole in my sock. What is mindfulness? Does it mean emptying the mind? Does it mean endlessly chewing on a single raisin? Does it mean washing the dishes while repeating to yourself, I'm washing the dishes? Today we're going to talk about all things mindfulness, the what, the why, and the how it can help you to simplify your life. I would also like to kind of demystify it a little bit because I think at the heart of mindfulness, it's about taking life and ourselves just a little bit less seriously. Practicing mindfulness has been one of the best things I've done to simplify my life. And the cool thing is that mindfulness is actually super simple. It is not hard or complicated at all, and anyone can do it. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do and how to get started with practicing mindfulness yourself. Welcome back everyone, and if you're new here, this is a place where you can get tips and inspiration for living a simpler, happier, and calmer life. Definitely hit subscribe down below if you haven't already to follow along. I would love to see you again next week. Little disclaimer before we begin, I am making this video as someone who is interested in mindfulness and who has practiced with it for a long time, but I'm in no way an expert on any of this stuff. I didn't have any official training. I'm also not a healthcare professional. So if you are experiencing anything having to do with mental health, then definitely see a professional. First, I'll explain a bit about what mindfulness is and why it is so amazing. And then I will share some very actionable things that you can start practicing today in order to start practicing mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness simply means being aware and paying attention. So that can be connecting to your senses or noticing your environment. Let's say that you're out for a walk, really noticing the gentle breeze or the feeling of the sunshine on your skin or the sounds of traffic or the birds. It can also be noticing your thoughts and emotions as they come up. So just noticing what's going on in a neutral, non-judgmental way. And every time you notice that your mind has kind of drifted away and you're not really paying attention to the present moment anymore, for example, if you are worrying about something that might happen in the future, or you're thinking about a conversation that you had yesterday, then just gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. So a way to visualize this would be if you are on a train station. So you're watching all of these trains come and go. These represent our thoughts and our feelings and our experiences. And instead of boarding every train you see and kind of letting it take you away, you're just on the platform watching them come and go. Is mindfulness the same as meditation? Kind of. But also no. The way I understand it is that meditation can be a form of mindfulness. So we can practice mindfulness through formal meditation, like sitting down, closing your eyes, watching your breath, and that is great, of course. But the thing about mindfulness is that we can also practice it just in our everyday life. It has more to do with the quality with which we approach things. So you don't actually have to sit down and meditate in order to practice mindfulness. We can bring it into our everyday life and our everyday routines. For example, when you're going out for a walk, when you are cleaning something, or even when you are working. Basically, whatever you're doing, there is an opportunity to approach that mindfully. So I've been practicing with mindfulness ever since I was around 15, which means that I've been doing it for 20 years now. Am I mindful all the time? No. Definitely not, far from it. It is just a practice. There's no need to be perfect at this. So I just try to do my best most of the time. So we've talked about all that. Let's now also talk about how you can start practicing mindfulness yourself. So I have a few examples here. Feel free to pick and choose one or two that resonates with you the most. Number one is practicing with being aware of the present moment. And Being like present in the moment is one of the biggest things, because it is very normal for our mind to either go to the past or to the future. When you're stuck thinking about the future, that very likely means that you are worrying or feeling anxious about things that might happen. So for example, will I do okay in the presentation tomorrow at my work? Or even bigger things like, will my family and my loved ones stay happy and healthy and safe? Will something awful happen? Or what if someone loses their job and we get into financial trouble? So all of these like little and big worries. And when you're stuck thinking about the past, something that happens, oftentimes it has to do kind of like with regret. So maybe you're thinking like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why couldn't I have done things differently? Or even, why did that person treat me so badly? Why did that awful thing happen? Things like that. So practice noticing this whenever you're stuck in the past or in the future. Get back to the here and now. Just take a look around you in the room. What are you wearing? How are you feeling? Notice whatever is going on right now. Oftentimes I find that the things that we are worried about are not actually here right now, because we're usually safe, things are all right. So just by going back to the present moment, you can start just letting go of that ruminating and finding some peace and calm. Number 2 is paying attention to a task that you are doing without wishing that you could just get it over with. Let's say you just had dinner and you're tidying up the kitchen. There are 2 ways to go about it. You can tidy up the kitchen while thinking, I hate cleaning, and trying to get it over with as quickly as possible. Or you could just accept the fact that this is what you're doing now, cleaning the kitchen, and just notice in the present moment how it feels to clean the kitchen, whatever comes up. And in both scenarios, you will have cleaned up the kitchen at the end, so the result is the same. But in the first example, you are feeling really negative and rushed and wanting to get it over with. And in the second example, maybe you've even enjoyed it a little bit, or just found a chance for you to kind of quiet the mind and find some peace within the activity that you just did. Number 3 is learning to pay attention to thoughts and emotions as they come up. This is my personal favorite way of practicing mindfulness, and the way that I do it the most often. And it really does take some practice to notice, thoughts and feelings as they come up. But it can make all the difference. So it's not at all about quieting the mind or trying to reduce the amount of thoughts that you have, or about only wanting to experience the positive emotions and never the negative ones. It's not about any of that, because you're not trying to change anything. The only thing that you're trying to do is pay attention and be aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So let's say someone says something to me that makes me feel insecure. Instead of just having my response ready immediately and kind of lashing out because I'm feeling hurt or insecure, I notice like, hey, what that person just said to me makes me feel insecure. So again, it's kind of like taking on the role of the observer and just noticing what's going on inside your own head through a very gentle, non-judgmental lens. And this also requires acceptance. And this is my favorite thing about mindfulness, because let's say I'm having a bad day, I'm just feeling moody or cranky or tired, or sometimes I'm just gloomy and I don't really know why. This helps me to just accept, okay, I'm having a bad day. Apparently, this is how I'm feeling right now. And because of that, becoming aware of it, it already takes the strength out of it a little bit, because you're putting distance between yourself and the moody feelings. And accepting it also helps me to be like, okay, apparently I'm feeling a little gloomy. So is there something that I can do for myself right now to possibly feel a little bit better? Number 4 is focusing on your senses. A really great, short, easy, practical little mindfulness trick that I myself use all the time is called the 5-4-3-2-1 exercise. And this helps you to connect to your senses. So what you do is you take a look around in the room that you are in, and you identify 5 things that you can see, then 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. This can be done anywhere and anytime, and it takes like 1 minute, and it is very helpful. So for example, I am terrified of going to the dentist, so Let's say I have a dentist appointment in the morning. Usually the evening before, I'm starting to feel really anxious, and this is what I do during those times, because it's very hard to focus on all of these things and connect to your senses and then also think about other stuff. So usually when I begin this exercise, I'm still feeling anxious, and then like halfway through and by the end of it, I am noticing a shift in how I'm feeling simply by connecting to my senses and focusing on the present moment. I'm just getting out of my head, out of my worries a little bit more. Number 5 is mindfulness meditation. I wish I could tell you that I meditate every day or even regularly, but that will be a lie. I have usually a couple of months when I'm meditating regularly, and then even longer stretches of time when I'm hardly doing it. But a very fun way to meditate that I do regularly is just doing a mindfulness meditation with a cup of tea. So instead of focusing on your breath or on your thoughts, like with most common types of meditation, you make yourself a lovely cup of tea and you enjoy it very slowly without distractions. This is great, and it always leaves me feeling a little bit calmer and refreshed, kind of like my mind had a little nap. So just focusing on the warm feeling of the cup in your hands and the steam coming off it and the smells and the tastes and how it kind of warms you up from the inside. Very relaxing, very nice, highly recommend. Number 6, practice mindful listening. This requires a conversation partner, and what it is just making a conscious decision to actively listen to what the other person is saying and really paying attention instead of focusing on your own thoughts about it or waiting for your turn to speak. So you're really paying attention to what the other person is saying without judgment, and maybe ask some open-ended questions, be mindful of their body language. And not only is this a great way to practice mindfulness in your conversations, but it can also really deepen your relationships with others and help you understand them better. Number 7, single tasking. Multitasking is kind of a myth anyway, because our brain is not really geared to do several things at once. So what you're really doing is rapidly switching from one task to the other, and that is very taxing for our brain. So if you find this hard, you could try single tasking one thing every day, and this can be cooking or doing your laundry or brushing your teeth. So you're doing that one thing and you're not doing anything else. You're also not listening to a podcast or anything like that. Really focusing on it instead of having your attention be pulled into like 8 different directions. Number 8, taking charge of your attention when it comes to your devices. I think the endless scroll on our phone is probably the exact opposite of mindfulness, and our devices truly can be like a mindlessness trap. So you could practice reducing your screen time or just not having your phone with you all day, every day. So you could say every day, starting at 8:30 p.m., our phones are not with us, we keep them somewhere else, and we're not on our phone, we're actually doing something else. Just having your phone near you has been shown to decrease focus on the here and now, and especially if it's also sending you notifications. Every time you notice this little light or sound, it has been shown to increase stress in our brain. So for me, this could easily be its own video. There's so much to say here. But it really has been very beneficial to actually create physical distance between myself and my devices. So why is mindfulness so awesome? We know from research now that mindfulness is great for many different things, including reducing stress, improving memory and focus, improving sleep, lowering our blood pressure. Again, not a doctor. I think for me it does all of these things, but what I notice the most is that it helps me to regulate my emotions, and therefore it helps me to improve my mental health. And especially during tough times, like when my mom was really sick and we were all experiencing very strong emotions, when I was going through my own burnout, when we were trying to buy this place and I was so nervous all day, and even when my period is coming up and I'm just experiencing all these like huge mood swings. Why this helps me to regulate my emotions is, again, because we take on the role of the observer. So instead of just being completely swept away by what's going on, we create some distance between ourselves as the observer and our thoughts or our emotions. And that takes the strength out of it a little bit because it creates distance. And it makes me see that I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions. I can return to the present moment, see that everything right now is all right, take a few deep breaths, and just simply noticing what's going on really helps. It helps me to decrease stress and anxiety by noticing that I am worrying about something or I'm ruminating about something, which is what I do often. And it helps me to see what I'm doing, and returning back to the present moment helps to reduce that anxiety and all of those worries. It also helps me to appreciate experiences more and really savor the pleasures in life as they occur. So for example, if I'm out for a walk, sometimes I will notice that for the last 10 minutes, I have been having these imaginary conversations in my head, like, you know, what they would say and what I would say, and I haven't been really present enjoying the walk. So then I go back to the present moment and really start to feel the gentle breeze and the sunshine and actually enjoy the walk instead of being in this like swirl of thoughts in my head, not really even noticing or enjoying the walk that I'm on. Now let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid or misconceptions about mindfulness, because these are things that I often get questions about, or just people asking me like, can you share your tips about this? So the first is, my mind just will not shut up. So feeling like you're not able to do mindfulness, or that you're just not good at it, or that it doesn't work for you because you're unable to actually get the thoughts out of your mind or to get your mind to quiet down. Your mind has a job, and that is making thoughts. So this is just your mind doing its thing. And meditation or mindfulness, it's not about actually quieting the mind, because that's basically impossible. And actually, once you notice just how many thoughts there are in your head, that's actually a great sign, because it shows that you are being aware of the many thoughts in your head, which is the whole point. And the second thing is that mindfulness or meditation should always lead to a feeling of relaxation or peacefulness. And if you don't reach that point, then you're doing it wrong. The reality is that sometimes we might feel relaxed, but other times we might feel frustration or boredom or anger or restlessness or sadness. And it's just about zooming in on experiencing whatever is there without judging it and without wanting to change it. I do notice that, practicing with mindfulness has brought me a lot more peace and calm and contentment, like overall. But that's more a long-term thing. It's not that I always end up feeling super relaxed because of mindfulness, not at all. And the third is that people who practice with mindfulness or with meditation should never feel stress, anxiety, burnout, depression. Fill in the blank with whatever word you want. And I think stressors are just a part of life. We're always going to experience a range of emotions, and I experience all of these things myself too. It's just that having a mindfulness practice helps me to deal with all of these emotions more effectively and get back to some kind of state of general happiness or contentment more easily. I think overall, with the way that life is right now, with technology and social media and our attention span becoming shorter and shorter, thank you TikTok, it is very easy to not be mindful and to kind of live your life on autopilot. Because let's say, when was the last time you've had some time to yourself and you didn't immediately grab your phone or some kind of screen, or trying to kind of distract your mind in some way? And that is a shame, because if we really want to enjoy our life, then we have to be here for most of it. Like, we have to be present in order to experience it. And I think that is the biggest thing that mindfulness nowadays can help us with. So mindfulness is not hard. The only thing that's difficult is to remember to do it. And you don't have to do it perfectly or the whole day. Just pick like one exercise that you enjoy, that you like doing, that is easy for you to fit into your schedule, into your lifestyle, and just try practicing with it and making it into a habit. I'd like to give a special thanks to my patrons for their support of the channel. Patreon is another platform where I post 2 extra videos a month. And when you join, you can immediately get access to all of these videos that are already up. I think there are over 80 right now. There are vlogs, deep dives, tea time chats. This is where I answer patrons' questions and they can give topic suggestions. This afternoon, I am filming a video about all the books that I've been reading recently. All the videos on Patreon are ad-free and also come with an audio-only podcast version. So if you would like to help support my work and get extra videos from me in return, then you can always join my Patreon community. It is $5 a month, and of course you can also cancel anytime. So you can go to patreon.com/simplehappyzen. I will also leave the link in the description box. As always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all again next week. Bye bye. Did you know that mindfulness can actually change the physical makeup of our brain? Researchers found an increase in the gray matter in the brain regions associated with memory, learning, and focus. How cool is that?